Hello everybody, this is Professor Parish, and this is just going to be a quick video to sort of go over a little bit about the assignments that we have for this class and how to complete them. So, I am on our page right now, and hopefully by now you've watched the navigation video that's right here on our home page to show you how to navigate the course, and I hope that you've read the syllabus by now and kind of explored the page, seen my contact information, and seeing kind of how the class is set up. So what I'm going to do is go to our weekly assignments, and on that page it will list you. Right now we have 2 assignments. I can see which students have completed and which haven't, but you obviously won't be able to see that. So right now we have our grammar sampler, which is due Sunday, and we have our week 1 discussion forum. Your posts are due Friday and your replies are due by Sunday as well. And if you watched the last video, it goes over how to do those assignments. So, what I want to do is kind of talk about in your World of Short Stories textbook. There's a couple sections. We have the preface, which starts on page XX1, which is Roman numeral for the 21. Before we start the book. And if you guys turn to those pages, I'm not going to go over this word for word, but you guys will kind of see how each of these chapters are set up. There are vocabulary exercises for each story. Obviously, we don't have time to do all of them. We're only here 8 weeks. So each week I will have selected a story for you all to read from the textbook itself. So you can see on this week, we're just getting to know each other, so there's not really a story to read yet. That starts week 2. But if you look at week 2, for example, you'll notice that in our textbook you should read pages 26 to 28, which would be The Kiss by Kate Chopin. So that's for week 2. That's for next week. But for this week, we're looking at the preface, and we're looking at the very first part of this textbook to kind of show you an example lesson on how this textbook is set up. So if you look at the first page of the preface, you'll see that there are vocabulary exercises, there are questions, there is a biography of the author for each story, there are journal, follow-up, discussion, and writing questions. And just to go over the preface, they kind of explain what each section is going to look like and how it's going to be set up. So if you want to look through the preface, they'll kind of explain what each of the questions are about, but they're pretty self-explanatory. I think once you actually see the questions with the stories, they're pretty easy to comprehend. So a sample lesson is right here. Write Figs by Chopin. So the sample lesson on here, if you guys look through that, we get a little biography about the author herself. And then what we do is they actually show us the context, and I'll pull this back up widescreen. I don't know why I got out of that. So they pull up and show us your vocabulary exercise. So we actually have a drop box starting in week 2 for this, and I'm going to pull up week 2 and show you. So in week 2, you guys will see that there is a vocabulary assignment. So what that is, and I'll click on it, is starting in week 2, which is next week. So you don't have to worry about this week. I'm just letting you know ahead of time. What you'll do, and I'll actually change this to student view, show you as a student. So this is how you'll see the site. So if I go to the vocabulary assignment, you'll see that I'm asking you basically to use a dictionary to define the words for the sentences on 1 through 20 on pages 23 to 25, and the words number 1 through 9 on page 25. So, just to flip back to this, what that assignment wants you to do is to define the words in each of these sentences on page 23 through 25 in the example, and then on page 25, for example, they give you, I'll just turn to page 23. So in The Kiss, every chapter and every story we have there are 20 sentences of vocabulary. All right. And then at the end, if you can see on here, at the end there are a set of texts of terms. You will need to define those along with the 20 words that are in the sentences in the first part. That's all for the vocab. So you can either upload it all on a Word document, you can write it out on a piece of paper and take a photo of it and add it or scan it in, whatever is easiest for you. In all honesty, it will probably be easier if you just type out your answers and submit that file from your computer. That's probably going to be the easiest way, but it's up to you, however you want to do it. But that's the vocabulary assignment. And then you have the actual story itself. All right. Before we get any further, you'll click this upload file when you're ready to upload your assignment. So the vocabulary, for example, you'll click upload file. You'll choose a file. MySIC has this thing where they actually save all your work onto the computer. So that's kind of nice. You have a database of all your previous submissions. So if you ever need to go back and resubmit or download a file, it's right there. But you'll want to do upload, and then it will let you upload from your computer. And then you'll click insert once it's uploaded. All right? And if you ever have questions, just email and ask me. But I think once you start submitting things, you'll get the hang of it. All right, so I'm going to click this. One thing about MySIC to keep in mind is that MySIC is not friendly with this back button or the refresh button. For whatever reason, the software and web page do not like it. So if you ever need to go back, these links right here, like this one, will take you to the last page, and it'll keep going back, so on and so forth. So use these links up here rather than these up here, because that will just mess you up. All right. So the questions for the KISS, this is again week 2. If you look on page 32. On page 32, that starts, you have some follow-up questions, and I'll bring this box back up. You've got some follow-up questions, 10 short answer questions for the KISS, and then do not do the quotations. I'll put this back up. The quotations at the bottom of that page, don't do them. Every story that we read, don't worry about this significant quotations assignment. I don't want you to do it. Do these 10 questions over here, the short answer, multiple choice, and then over here, you're going to do the comprehension essay questions, both of them, the 2 discussion questions, both of them, and then in the writing part, you get to choose which of the 2 writing questions you want to do. So that's where I get all of your points. The 30 points comes from 10 points for the multiple choice, 10 points for the comprehension questions, 5 points for the discussion questions, and then 5 points for the writing question. So that's where that point total comes from. So every story is like that. So the example story that they give us, which is the right figs, they kind of show you an example of how to do those questions. Okay. So that's the main things with our book. Those are the 2 assignments each week that you'll have with your book starting in week 2. So, as I said, the question and vocab assignments are all in your textbook. They're right there. You never have to look anything up, and all the answers are within your textbook as well. The discussion forum is in the discussion forum section. Right now, I only have weeks 1 and 2 up. If you want to post, you just click to add a post, and I actually added this test post earlier and then I deleted it because I didn't want to keep it in the forum, but you just do add post, and then I'll have to switch out because it won't let me do it in the student view. Add post, make sure you have a subject line, make sure you have text, and then click submit. The website does time out after a while, so if it's taking you a long time to type the body part, you may want to type that out in Microsoft Word or WordPad first, and then just copy and paste it over so that you have, it doesn't time you out. And then finally, the in week 2, you have an article review. And this is, we only have 3 of these the entire semester. So it's just this week, I think week 4, and then I think week 6. So they're just every 2 weeks. Again, you won't have this until next week. But if you click on it, there is an assignment in this file part that has all of the guidelines and details of how to do the assignment. So you have that as an example. And that's pretty much it. The grammar sampler this week, for this first week, if you click on it, you can access this file. It's just kind of a grammar review to see where everybody's at in terms of grammar and if we'll need to do any extra assignments. And also the discussion forum is the only thing for this week. So, if you have any questions, please let me know. And I hope that this video at least shows you where things are at in your book, what to look for. I try to explain it in the actual posts themselves on how to do the assignments, but again, if anything is confusing, just email or call me at my office and I'm happy to help. Alright, I hope you guys have a great first week, and next week I'll be back with a video to talk about Chopin and the Kiss. Alright, have a great night.